Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Panos. I'm on mute. I'm busy eating breakfast.
No worries. We'll take another few minutes for people to join. I need to find a way to inject elevator music while we're waiting. Okay, I think we're 4 minutes past. I could start by asking for any opens you may have. It's only the three of us so far. And we'll see if anybody else joins now. Get a minute. I'll go full screen. Oh, Jerry just joined.
Hi, Panos. Good morning.
Oh,
Or good afternoon.
So, should actually be beaming notes document. One moment, please. Okay. So, what I go? What do I go? Okay. Can you see the screen now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We just brought up the agenda document so that we have something to look at, right? I arbitrarily put, as usual, our opens if we want to talk about something. I should be moving the OCP regional summits up in the agenda because I think that's like the most critical to decide today. And then the two open items from last week. So if we need to do anything about a code of conduct or just a statement, and statement is a document. So I think we floated the idea of having a very short description of things we're working, apart from our mission statement. So, or sorry, trying to remember exactly how we formed it. Some material that we would put out for other people to see and follow. So, does anybody want to bring any opens or agenda items?
So,
yeah,
are we submitting a third, John?
Oh, so I have one open. So I had a discussion with a company which I can't name yet because I don't know if they're here, who had come to OCP trying to find out where the fleet management work was being done, and they were looking at FM because guess what? They have fleet in their name. So as I mentioned earlier, right? If we're going to do fleet management, it better be more prominent because that's what people are coming to OCP with and looking for. So I had mentioned this CSM as a work stream that they would want to participate in, and I expect them here either today or next week, as soon as they can fit it in their schedule. But there is interest, and they're trying to find you. Make it easier for them, guys.
Okay.
They shouldn't have to talk to me to figure this out.
Okay, I think we need some suggestions, some ideas here. So, who was next? Wanted to talk? Tim or Sami?
I think my question or open is: are we submitting a regional summit presentation, and what is the topic you want to do that with?
Yeah, we made an abstract. Me, Jim, and Scott worked on it. We wrote an abstract for the paper, and that's in that folder. I'm just driving right now, so I can't present. But yeah, so we can talk about that.
Let me find it. Yeah, let me find it and bring it up in the screen.
But just to finish the topic from John, what John brought up, I guess, how do we do that? I mean, how do we make sure that people are aware of what we are doing, make it easier?
So, I mean, I think the logical thing somebody should do if they want to understand what the OCP is working on is they go down the groups, and then within each group, they go down the subgroups. So do we have fleet management listed as a work item under CSM and I guess the hardware management? That's the group hierarchy we're under?
Yes, I think we do.
I'm not sure we do. So you got to understand, right? These guys were just approaching us, right? And they said the first thing they did, basically, what I gathered is just look at the names. They didn't even bother clicking in, right? They said, "Hey, fleet management for memory, right? Well, that must be it, right?" So you were considering that they have the time to go click into each work group and figure out what they're doing, right? If they do, they have time to read the first abstract line maybe on top, which is kind of your mission, and then to go on to the next one.
I guess I'm guilty of projecting my own behavior because that's what I did to see what was who was who in the zoo.
Exactly. I understand that, right? But you can't. These people are just they look at OCP and they are so overwhelmed by how many groups and projects and work streams that exist that going by name is understandable.
Yeah, I think maybe at the website you have a search criteria or something.
No, we can't fix the website, right? As a matter of fact, they were so confused, they didn't even contact me directly. They went to OCP Foundation, and one of them referred them to me to say, if that's what you're interested in, you need to go talk to John.
Yeah, we can take a look at, for next week, we can maybe Panos, we can take a look at the mission statement and the name and stuff like that, and we can have a discussion. Let's do that, and maybe we can improve it, or maybe I don't know if we can, but let's see if we can.
I don't know if you're seeing this tab that I'm sharing, the Open Compute
am.
project one. Yes.
Yeah.
So I just try to search for fleet management, and we're nowhere there. So perhaps we need to find some SEO tactics there.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we'll need somebody from Google, I suppose. So yeah. Otherwise, I think I have your. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think one more to comment on this one. We had a discussion on it, right? I think we need somebody contributing to that, right? We can put a area that we want to work on it, but we do need to real
Well-
interest in contributing to that, right?
So my discussion with them, right, they said they were interested in life cycle, right? Which I pointed, hey, we did CSM,
Right.
they're trying to do a life cycle document, right? So
Right.
when they come in here, that may be the first document they pick up and say, okay, how far along are these guys in their thinking?
Okay, so then I think we should add to our description. We are life cycling in the fleet management. I think the name need to appear there so that people can look on it. Right?
Correct.
Okay, I don't know if we have the technical capability of putting some keywords or
Like tags and
bullet
stuff like that.
words. Yes, in our wiki page and our front page, so that people that want to search for lifecycle management, fleet management, scalability, can take a look at us and can find us.
So Panos, where's your wiki? Is it
the
is it
one
on
GitHub? Yes.
Could you just
We'll put
send
the-
me could you send me a
Yeah.
reference to it?
Yes. One moment. I think I have it open here. So if I don't know if you see I don't know if you see my location bar, which is Open Compute Project /OCP-HM.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a top level hardware management project wiki, and
Yeah.
I don't think I point to this one. I think I point to the old one. So let me go
Okay.
fix that.
Okay, maybe that solves it.
No, that's just one
No.
thing.
So, and we need to add fleet management somewhere. In
Right.
this
So
wiki.
so you can expect people will go to hardware management wiki and come to this wiki, right? As soon as I fix it. So you've got about a couple of lines to go tell him why he should stay here.
Yep.
And so don't make him wander down, right? Tell him what you guys do.
Yeah, like a mission statement,
Should
a couple
be-
lines of mission statement. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, should be up here.
No, it's a scope, right? You need to specify your scope. That's what it is, right? That says, oh, okay, these guys do fleet management, right? Then the second is your mission within fleet management, and so you got to capture them within the first paragraph, guys.
Okay. So back to the agenda, and I just
Yeah. So sorry,
you have the
Panos,
abstract. So
you're sharing the wrong document. I think I have a document which says _Lisbon abstract.
Okay, let me check. Oh yes, I found it.
Sorry,
One
thanks a lot.
moment.
Thanks for doing
Yes.
this.
No worries. Okay. Can you see this?
So I tried
now?
to stick to the 1,000-character limit, and I think it's mostly the same from the global summit. I think, but at the end I added. I mean, we worked together on this one. Me, Scott, and Jim. We added a couple of lines about the goal of what we want to present. So we want to identify at least a couple of areas, and we haven't identified those yet, but we want to identify that by April, and then have a data model ready for those areas at least. So and kind of finalize the stages and the phases of the life cycle. So that's what we want to do. I know, so that's the goal basically, and we want to submit this abstract like by Monday, right?
Yes.
Okay, and one thing that to call out, and I missed that, is I don't think, I mean, so it needs to be checked, but I definitely cannot go to Lisbon, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know about Scott. I mean, we talked about it, and Scott and Jim are checking. They may or may not be able to go. So worst case, we may have to like switch presenters and put you in Panos because you're going, right?
Yes, for me the logistics are much easier, as you may imagine.
Yeah,
I've still not booked anything, but yeah, we need to submit the presentation and know about that, as we said, the logistics. But I think I could do it. I could make it.
Okay, so I just want to call out chance that none of the three of us, so that might happen. So you might have to cover for us. So
Okay.
maybe that's something that needs to be called out in logistics. But other than that, the abstract is good to go. You guys can take a look.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me just change my tab to the agenda.
And then I also added another document. I think we wanted to kind of provide a call to action kind of document, like a summary document. So that's another document that I added. Like it's like a one-pager to like an executive summary of the lifecycle management paper. So like call to action for help.
Yeah. So just because of the logistics of Lisbon, I would propose to move ahead with the document and make sure we can submit this tonight, and then spend the rest of the time, if we have any left, for the teaser.
Yeah. So there's a different document I created for the teaser, so you can open that as well.
Yep. Because we could practically work on the teaser in the next weeks if needed, right? So.
Agreed. Let's just submit this, and then next one or I already created a draft for the teaser, so we can review it and see if there are comments.
Yeah. Just writing. Anybody else here has any comments on the abstract? Actually, one moment. Let me ping everybody the URL to that abstract, if anybody wants to bring it locally. Okay, here's the abstract, and I suggest we give it a read and put any comments here.
So last time, Sammy, you submitted it for us. Is that how do we, like, Panos or Sammy, you guys will take care of submission?
So no. Last time it was part of FTI. So FTI, they had a different process. Given this is under a hardware management project, so we need to submit formally through the portal.
Okay, you'll show.
You just go to the submission link, enter this items, then automatically goes to the portal, right? Do you need the link?
Should we agree to work with Nirav offline after this meeting to make sure we have the submission?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's due on Monday, right? So you can get it submitted.
Good.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you. And I'm at my desk. So if you're done with the abstract, let me find the teaser and present that. Yeah, okay, I found it. Where is, okay, sorry. So if you don't mind, Panos, I'll take over.
Okay, yes. Take over if you want to.
Thank you so much, Panos. Sorry about being late. Chrome tabs, and then teaser. Okay. So let's make sure I'm sharing the right thing. So what I did is I essentially took the introduction of the lifecycle management paper, reduced it a little bit, and made a kind of an executive summary. We can call it call to action or executive summary or whatever. So I guess this portion we need to define what we want to call it. What do we want to call it? Okay. And the first paragraph is mostly about statistics, about the exponential growth in the cloud ecosystem, driving the use case for uber large, like hyperscale data centers. And I think here I mentioned that it is supposed to be the predominant use case within this decade, having those larger data centers because of the economy of scale. And then I quickly walk down, and so I call out the fact that manageability for these large data centers is an unexplored area, and that's something that this paper contends to do. What it contends to do is take a top-down approach to manageability, identify the layers or the hierarchies. I should call it hierarchies. At each hierarchy and each stage of the life cycle. So we walk down this life cycle and we analyze each phase and break them down further into various classification and kind of associate that to standardization and the existing work that's been done in the OCP, and call out the specific opportunity areas. Again, the intention, I call out that intention is to find out opportunities for standardization, and I should say gaps for standardization in terms of data representation and not to create a rigid lifecycle. So whether these stages they are applied to a specific phase or not may or next may be provider dependent. However, the manageability goals and as a result, the data representation requirements could potentially be the same. And then I think this needs to go out. I think the question of why standardize in the first place, right? We need to address that. So I try to address that in here about concerns, typical concerns with standardization, where it could hamper innovation, it could hamper unique use cases, and so on and so forth. And then I try to talk about why, like, go ahead.
Quick question, which part of standardization we are talking about here?
No. So what I think, let me back up. So what we talk about is the life cycle, right? And maybe I don't need to focus on this I just borrowed it from the introduction. So maybe this part doesn't need to be there. But yeah, I think in an executive summary, I guess this part need not be there. But my intention, so so we are introducing the hyperscale data centers here. Then we are talking about the various stages and hierarchies in a hyperscale data center, and we are saying we'll introduce that. The intention is to introduce that, and then call out why we are classifying it this way. The classification is to create a top-down hierarchy so that we can identify opportunities for standardization in terms of data model representation.
I think at least the first three sentences of the next paragraph are good because they're justifying what you're claiming in the second paragraph.
Right.
And I'm not saying the only the first three are good, but I think the first three are at least are good.
You mean this?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, so I can actually not spend a lot of. I need to make it more concise. So this is not. I don't know what the deadline for the teaser is, but this is not completely ready yet. I think I just want to show it to you guys as to what I have so far. I will, and I agree, Jim. I think this is needed. It's just maybe I should make it a little bit more concise and not focus so much on standardization rather than the paper itself, right? So, but make it more concise. I take that
Okay.
feedback. Yeah, but they're good. I agree. And again, this part also actually this is good. I think this part could be. I think this is the part I want to focus on. Is that our goal with this paper is to identify opportunities for standardization, and people say that okay, yeah, standardization may not always be kind of helping with specific use cases. On the contrary, I think what we want to do is want to standardize it in such a way that that the output and the data representation, the requirements are standardized, but the how part can be unique to the specific use case, and as a result, could potentially help with satisfying specific use cases that the customers may have. So I will try to make it more concise. And again, I don't know what the limit is here. Panos or Sammy, do you guys know? Is there a limit to have this?
No, this is a document we create for our own sake.
Okay.
And so there's no strict limit. Thinking out loud, I'm trying to make the argument that by standardizing the trivial parts, we allow innovation in the non-trivial areas. That would,
yeah, I think that's what I want to say. I think let me just write that way.
The point is how to pronounce it, how to express that.
Yeah,
by standardizing.
By standardizing the common parts, I think.
Yes.
Standardizing the representations and
well, not just the the commonalities, or like we want to turn some easy parts into commodities, let's say.
Our contention
so that
is
the non easy ones are the ones we have more resources to explore, innovate, customize, and so on, and extend, right?
Assistant.
Trying to find the correct words, right?
Yeah, I think I'll go with commonalities for now, but I think then it might be a better word. You're right. And yeah. Okay, so our contention is that this will assist in innovation and not hamper it, right? I think that's what we are saying.
Or in other words, to have a baseline standardized allows to build on top of that with customization and innovation.
Okay, yeah, a baseline, having a baseline
as a standard,
a common baseline,
yes,
as a standard will allow for innovative use cases to be easily implemented on top. Okay, so I just need to wordsmith that. Yeah, and I'll put that in the comments for now. But that's the intention of these two lines.
Yeah, I think instead of easily implemented, it allows reusability or something like that, right?
Use case because of the reusability factor.
Yeah, okay. Standard does not mean it's easy.
Because of the reusability factor. Yeah. Okay. I need to wordsmith it. Yeah. This might not be, but I'm writing it down. But that's what the intention is here, and so we call out the fact that, and then at the end we kind of call out that the goal of this paper is show how a common set of standard could help data center provide providers speak a common data language, irrespective of the oceans of system device going through various phases within a hypercycle cloud environment. Furthermore, we want to show the data center providers could collate various systems with multiple functions into a single large representation, which effectively scales with the size of the data center. So
rather than collate, should we say consolidate?
I like that word better. Yes, make it consolidate. Okay, actually, let me just do it. Consolidate. Okay, perfect. So that's all I have here. Pretty quick. Again, I need to work on it a little bit more. But if you guys want to look at it, and like Panos suggested, I will put a link to this one also in the chat. Start commenting on it, and between me, Jim, and Scott will work on this, and we'll fix your comments, and we'll get it ready in the next 2-3 weeks, for sure. The other thing I wanted to call out that we kind of had so we met and we had a discussion, and we said, getting an entire paper. So Panos, I know your expectation is we get the final paper ready by April in Lisbon. What I want to say is that we may be able, our goal is to have at least 4 or 5 areas, have a data model ready, have the data model documented into the paper, and make a proposition for standardization of those using those data models. So that's a lot of work. For Lisbon, I think the best we can achieve is maybe 1 or 2 areas.
Yes. So yeah, let me be more pessimistic here to say that for Lisbon, we need a presentation anyway. And that presentation will draw some of our resources. And thus, we should focus on the presentation now to deliver for Lisbon that will contain content from the final white paper. But this should have more priority than finishing up the white paper, if so.
No, completely hear you. We will do that. We'll prioritize it that way. But I think all I want to say is we won't be ready with the paper by Lisbon.
No.
I think our stretch goal is to be ready by the global summit.
Yeah. But yes, having a couple of key areas in a good level of detail or a good level of maturity will help support a good presentation in Lisbon.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that's what we aligned on, and we intend to actually, between me, Scott, and Jim, we intend to meet offline at least once in 2 weeks, if not more, and kind of keep chugging along and keep focusing on it and not take our eyes off it. So we'll try our best to get there by October. So that's
just a friendly wordsmith. We didn't say once in 2 weeks. We said once every 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah. You're right. That makes a difference. Yes, once in 2 weeks. Once every 2 weeks. Yes. Yes, that makes sense. Thanks for that. So that's all I had, guys. I'll stop sharing. If you have comments, please go ahead and put the comments down.
Okay, can we check the abstract once again?
Oh, you want me to present again?
Yeah. Yes. Well, I can present for you if you want. No problem about that.
No, I can do that. I'm back at my desk now. Okay, let's see. You want to check the abstract? Okay.
Yes. I was focusing on that word layout there that is already picked by the grammar.
I saw somewhere that there is an additional section for Lisbon. I don't know if this is the format. How do I get?
I need to check my mails. I've received so many notifications about Lisbon submissions, and we'll need to find the correct links there.
Yeah, I just took the format from the global summit, but I think there might be a different format this time around. So
So can you please zoom to 150% so it's easier for us?
Yes, I can do that. 200%.
Well, 150 would be okay, yeah. But anyway, it's so small here. Um, I have two remarks. Like for me, it's a little bit too abstract. And then that word layout, I'm trying to think of any better word there to, layout.
Okay, think of a better word.
Yeah, like the word model cannot be used because we're talking about a data model later. Draft out a blueprint, no.
Introduce, specify.
Yes, specify, introduce even better.
Okay.
Because like specify plus blueprint would make it too rigid, right?
Mhm.
Introduce, this can be a good, yes. Okay, yes, I think it's better.
Okay.
Already.
And I have only 1,000 character space. I'm using, I think, about 800 or so already. So, does that limit count the spaces or no? It doesn't count spaces. I don't know.
Shouldn't.
Okay, so I might have some space.
Yeah. Do we want to be explicit? Because I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Do we want to be explicit about mentioning servers or equipment of the data center, or we want to leave it very generic?
So it seems we created an abstract without the word fleet in it.
Sorry, John, I didn't hear you well. Can you repeat?
Yeah, we
He
started
said
this
it would-
conversation with the lack of the word fleet and people looking for it, and we created an abstract without the word fleet in it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me find, we need to, yes, we need to add the word fleet somehow.
And put it in a blue neon sign that blinks.
Yeah, yes, we'll do that. I'll try my best. All right, so that's great comments.
Okay, I think I have a suggestion here in 3 lines before the end where we say this presentation follows a top-down approach to architecting the requirements. Instead of saying for hyperscale manageability, we could say for managing a hyperscale fleet of machines and equipments.
Managing a fleet of
for the management or for the management.
But to manage.
Oh, or to manage, yes, to manage, yeah. Let's
less words. Yeah.
No, it's less hairy.
To manage.
To manage.
A fleet of.
Did we say hyperscaler too many times? We can say a huge fleet, a large fleet of.
I think fleet in itself is sufficient.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, fleet itself is, I think, is large. Fleet of.
No, we need to say a large fleet. I think John meant to stop there and not specify a fleet of what.
Oh,
right,
yes.
John?
Okay. A large fleet. Okay. Is that okay? Okay. John.
Or even such a large fleet. Because
that links it to the previous line. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So if we go by keywords, I think we have
a large fleet of what? A large fleet of data center equipment?
We would need to go down to the specifics to say servers, equipment, racks.
You could go
all
down to
that,
that specifically, or you could just say
Yeah.
data center equipment and keep it abstract. Either way.
Okay.
Large fleet of data centers.
No, I could say large fleet of assets.
Assets. Okay.
Sure.
That's generic enough.
Okay, I'm trying to see if we are like overloading or overusing the data center. It's only one, so large fleet of assets inside the data centers, or no, it's too verbal.
There are 2 times I have.
Yes. Let's not repeat that.
Actually, I can remove it from here. Hyperscale evolution. Yeah.
How much do you like the phrase uber large?
I'm not tied to it. I am.
Okay, can we just say growing demand? It's growing demand for hyperscale data centers.
Okay, so just remove this. I think I just had to define what a hyperscale meant. That's why I said uber large. So I need some.
Uber large is too trendy.
Is it too trendy? Okay.
Yeah.
So I need something else here. I mean, I can't just delete it because I don't want to make a presumption that somebody understands what a hyperscale is. The first time I joined this group, I had to Google it, to be honest.
How about contend with this exponential growing demand? You could put the shock word at the beginning. This exponentially growing demand.
Oh yeah. Growing demand.
Also known as hyperscaler data centers. Or
okay. It is okay.
we need a more professional sounding word than AKA.
Yeah.
Known as yeah.
That works.
Words. The number of characters is what I was concerned with. But yes, I will double check. I might be still in the limit, so that's good.
So
why don't we just have growing demand, comma, hyperscale data centers have been on the rise.
I would say semicolon, not comma, but similar
It
idea.
can't be
semicolon.
No, comma is
comma.
more correct.
Comma.
Yeah, semicolon is.
You're right.
Correct.
Okay, comma.
Yes.
Comma.
Yeah, comma.
Yeah, that works for me.
Grammar police.
I am not very rigid with any of this. Any wordsmithing, I really appreciate it. So don't worry about it. I don't feel bad.
Okay.
That's why I asked you to bring it up, right?
Okay. Next sentence.
Sorry.
Management data representation at different levels and stages. What does it mean?
You might want to say manageability - related, because that manageability by itself is a little ambiguous. Yeah, - related.
Like that?
Yep.
Manageability related data representation. To answer your question, John, I think that's the whole goal of the paper, right? To break down. So I think maybe this line should come first.
Well, let's fix the line and then decide where it goes.
I see where the flow is wrong, and that's why there is confusion understanding the meaning of what it says. You're right. I mean, reading it as for the first time. I mean, I read it.
But the second line is the problem statement, right? You're saying this is the situation. The second is there's a problem that manageability has its data representations haven't scaled to meet meet hyperscale data center demands, right? And so this presentation is a new approach.
I think it flows very well.
Yeah, that's why.
The flow is okay.
Okay. So I guess So I think
I just think that problem statement isn't crisp.
So maybe, okay, I think what,
right? So
so maybe get
I
rid
think
of,
management ability related data representation of the data lifecycle
oh, okay, so just cut
has
down
not scaled.
of the data center's life cycle needs to scale along with size.
No,
Okay.
has not scaled, right? State the problem.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yep. Has not scaled along with its size.
That is better.
And then along with the size
Good
should just be removed.
Scaled along.
Scaled upward.
Scale.
No, I suggested along because
Accordingly.
in previous,
Accordingly.
Accordingly.
Yes.
Yep.
Accordingly is nice. Yeah. Perfect. That's more crisp. I agree.
Yes, and I would also contend whether we only refer to the data representation or also the methods, the flows. So the
Use
sophistication, like, not only the representation, but also the methods, the sophistication of the manageability solutions have not scaled.
Yeah, but are we really going to have time to get into the detail of how flows go across a network?
Yeah, I mean, maybe, and this is where I think that will be a stretch goal for us, is to maybe come back and see if we can update the abstract later to kind of, if you can do more to it.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay to submit this one and then explain a little more.
Correct.
There's nothing wrong with that.
All right, guys. Any other feedback, or this is good? All right.
I say ship
thumbs
it.
up to
Ship it.
Yeah.
Ship it. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Okay.
and I really appreciate all the help. Thank you so much.
Well, that's the very purpose of us being here, right? To agree on the text.
No, yeah. I think all feedback was really helpful. So thank you.
So back to our agenda. Do we have any other opens or any other items to discuss? Let me bring up the agenda once more. So I think we talked about the teaser documents. Announcement. This code of conduct thing, I just put it as filler for our agenda. I will cross it.
Does OCP have a code of conduct already that we can just
So
look at and agree?
So something which is already there. We do have the bylaws and code of conduct in OCP. And what I wanted to check, and perhaps even John may have more insights, is if the code of conduct is specific enough of how we handle our collaboration with external teams, or we need to put that like this addendum and agree that as members of this work stream, and since our work stream is outwards facing to other communities, that we need to have some extra precautions of how we stay fair players of the ecosystem, right?
I'm not sure that that's necessary, because it's not only this team, but various other teams all engage across the entire project spectrum of OCP and externally.
Yep.
And there's no text to say exactly how we would do that.
Yeah, I don't know what's special about this group in that respect to those ethical or behavioral considerations.
Yeah, just because of that discussion that happened on hardware fleet management, I wanted to be a bit more explicit than saying that we know how to behave, and be a little more explicit and have had the conversation, at least in our meetings, in our minutes, to say that we are careful and we want to engage with other teams rather than overlap them or anything.
So the prevention of overlap is based on the charters that we laid down.
Okay.
And so you mentioned something about previous discussion on fleet management as the reason for this. So I don't understand what you're referring to. Did something go wrong that caused us to say we need to write this down?
No, I'm just saying that we need to be a little careful to have a good collaboration with any other community or any other working group or specific team or what.
I don't think there's anything special. As hardware management, we are by our charter, we spread across the entire OCP platform group because we have to.
My recollection was this concern was triggered by a discussion that some of us participate in other forums like DMTF. Let me ask you this, Panos. Would this allay your concern if you spent like 5 or 10 minutes at the next meeting just summarizing the most important, the most relevant portions of the OCP Code of Conduct that you think is appropriate for our group?
Yeah, could do. Yes. Yeah, my only intention here, like I'm not saying that we are playing foul or had any intention to play foul, is to have something to demonstrate to anybody that asks that we have had an explicit conversation and an explicit decision to welcome and engage with anybody else around us, because that sets a precedent to anybody that will question our collaboration. Right? Just having had this conversation.
Yeah, so you could spend 5 or 10 minutes talking about the things you think are most relevant, and we could note it in the minutes. And there you go. We've had the discussion and it's documented.
Okay, good.
And what you could do is if you just put the contents on a slide and put the slide, in our folder, and there you go. It's that. This is what we talked about.
Okay. I'm making note in the agenda. Okay, do we have any other topic, or we can give 5 minutes back? I see some people have already dropped. So if nothing else, I'll give everybody 5 minutes back.
Y'all have a great weekend.
Yo, you too.